Welcome back to the belted Galloway Homestead. The temperature's getting lower here, so I thought I would share a new item that I purchased over the summer. And it's a Stihl pole saw, gas powered. It's a HT56C. And with the colder temperatures, I can trim my oak trees. We have oak wilt here in Minnesota, and you shouldn't wound an oak tree during the hot summer temperatures. And then it gets safe when the temperatures are low. So I don't trim my oak trees until it's safe with the oak wilt. It's a fungus that can infect a big, majestic oak tree and kill it. So try to save them as much as I can. Otherwise, they turn into firewood. But this is a Stihl pole saw. This is, I would say, the residential grade. I got a couple things I like about it. One is that it comes apart. So for transportation, I don't know if you've ever used one of their other extendable pole saws, but you can't take it apart, and it's longer than a truck bed, so it's not the easiest to transport. So I like this. I can stick it under my tonneau cover and transport it in the truck. This one does have the 12-inch blade on it, as opposed to the 14-inch blade. Works well for me, but if you are doing some heavier work, or if you're in the trimming business, you might want to go with the one of the heavier duty ones. I did rent one of the extendable ones a few years ago to get some chores caught up around the homestead here, and I tell you what, it was heavy. The area here that you see that's black is much rounder with the extendable ones. And so it's harder to grip, more fatigue on the hand, and then it's just heavy. So when you're slinging this around for a few hours, you know you've got a heavy pole saw in your hands, and those extendable ones were just way too heavy to be lugging around. They come in handy when you do need to extend them to get that hard to reach branch, but it just wasn't worth me dragging it around and that. So the weight, the cost, and transportation. I took this over the summer to the parents' place and cleaned out an old trail that had gotten overgrown. And I was able to clean that out with this saw only. So I was able to trim things off close to the ground. I was able to trim branches up high. I was able to reach everywhere and stay away from the briars and that, so it really worked well. So it's been good for me, and I'll show you here how it cuts. Let's get to work. here's another good use that I think for the pole saw is to be able to reach into these pines to cut these snags that are growing up. You can see that there. You got this growing up inside the pine. You can also get poison ivy growing up in the pine. So to be able to reach in here and cut these off, there's another one there and another one here, and then also to get the reach in there and get the limbs off the bottom of the pine also. So I think that's another good reason to have one of these pole saws, to be able to clean that up and keep the pine trees working good. There's a real bad one here. It's a little windy out here, so hopefully that's not messing with the audio too much. I had a tree, I guess you could say arborist, I think is the proper name for that, a tree person, tell me one time that you shouldn't have, your pine shouldn't be touching the ground as these are here. You see it's in the grass. It does make the grass hard around here. Wow. The wind is terrible. Let me go to the other side of the tree, see if I can see better. But anyways, told me you shouldn't have those touching the ground. It could end up killing a tree. You could end up having problems and disease with the tree. And I just, took it as advice. But then I started thinking, if the pines are growing out in the wild, isn't this how they would grow? And wouldn't they be laying on the ground? Now, there probably wouldn't be any grass. It'd probably be a bunch of pine needles and such. But that's how they would grow in the wild. And if that's the case, they would die and all that stuff. But I guess cutting that up and getting it off the ground help with ventilation and get more air up underneath there and that. But if anybody knows, drop a comment. Let me know if you should cut the pines off and keep them off the ground or not. I think it'd be less cover for little critters, rabbits and such around. So, but I just thought I'd mention that another good reason for this saw would be to cut off the bottom of those pine fronds to get them off the ground. There's the shepherds. How you doing, puppies? Yeah. I'm out here in your woods. What you doing? Did you find something? Yeah. Good puppies. Yeah, good puppies. They don't know what I'm doing here with this camera in my hand. They're like, what's going on? Well, as you can see, it does a pretty good job. Here it is assembled. The 12-inch blade. I just realized that I haven't sharpened that blade since I purchased the pole saw this summer, and I did a bunch of cutting at the parents to clean out their trail. So it's really small blade, and much smaller than anything I've ever seen on a chainsaw, any of my chainsaws, but I'm very happy with it. If you want a 14-inch blade, you need to step up to one of the bigger saws that doesn't break in the middle. See here, you got a knob just like on any other type weed whacker with adjustable heads, and then this pulls out, and there's your gear that fits in there. It's as simple as that. And I tighten this back up for transport so I don't lose the knob. I know they have a system out there too. They bought a power head that you can buy, and then you can also buy a weed whacker, an edger, a pole saw attachment to go on the end. I think it was a little shorter than this one, and then that runs into more money, and I didn't need those other attachments. And I think they have maybe an extension you can stick in the middle and make it longer, but I briefly considered that, and I just went ahead and went for this one. So again, I'd have to say I recommend it. I'm happy with it. It's done a real good job, and it's cut everything. You can see how big I was cutting there, 4-inch limbs with no problem at all, even with a blade that hasn't been sharpened. And really, I've cut a lot of brush on this and even got it into the dirt sometimes. So any questions, comments, let me know. Give me a like, and if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. And I'm going to continue covering homestead items here, and some videos with the Belties coming up. I still got a list on doing. So thanks for watching. Have a good one.